Good evening, dare I say good night, everyone. It is 9:30. My name is Joe Thomas. I'm a social studies teacher from Mesa and currently serve as the AEA president. I want to thank you all for the opportunity to talk to this. I had my entire, assuming I was going to get 2 minutes, thought out on what I was going to present. A lot of it was just stated by the attorney. But about 5 hours ago, the West Virginia educators decided that they were going to go on strike tomorrow for retaliation bills that are being passed by their state legislature. And my phone has been blowing up from educators across this state on what we're going to do. And so I need you all to understand the context and the timing of everything that's going on now. I think we can find a place where we can have educators meet the interests and needs of everyone on this committee. But I am encouraging you to be very careful about how we do it now, because educators feel like this bill already is retaliation. As it's written, it goes too far because it talks about school time. And we communicated with you and you sat down with me, and I really appreciate that, Representative Townsend, because I think that you have interests in this that are good. I don't think you are posing it as retaliation. But as you heard from a couple of the speakers up here, there's a lot of anger around the things that have happened last year. And this, I'm afraid, is going to ignite it in a way that no one's going to be able to understand. So I would just say, let's slow down and let's make certain that we get this right. Because I don't know of any educators out there. I do not believe that this is a widespread activity that's going on. We've had a few examples that are given around political cartoons. They don't probably, if you use political cartoons, they should be evened out. It was a guest speaker down in Tucson that had the quote that you did that I remember. And that was addressed in a different way. So I just don't see in my travels educators that have the time to promote a political ideology. And this will have an incredible chilling effect if it's not done correctly, to where educators won't want to intervene in conversations where someone is going overly progressive, overly conservative. We need to make sure that we do this correctly if we do it, because I'm telling you right now, if this goes through tonight, I'm going to be on television for the rest of the week talking about this at the backdrop of West Virginia. And I'll close with this thought. We're a week ahead of where we were last year.
Madam Chairman, Mr. Thomas,
Yes,
to that effect, can I ask, as president of the AEA, what have you proposed to stop the problem?
Mr. Thomas.
Chairwoman, what problem, sir?
Bingo. Thank you, Mr. Thomas.
Right, I truly
sure
believe.
You don't understand.
Please, through the chair.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Could I address 15.511? We do a really good job, I think, of talking about 15.511, and I understand the limitations that some committee members feel about that. This is going to be a whole re-education piece with our educators. And as you've heard, there's going to be people that are going to make a lot of money on it. But right now, as it stands under this language, our general counsel tells us if someone simply says grace at lunch, which is on school time, and a child walks by and sees it, they may not hear him saying grace, but with a head bowed over a plate of food, that is still symbolic speech. And that is something that can be a $5,000 fine. So I think it's wonderful that we're going to try to tighten up the language on this. I think we have a long way to go, but let's be very careful with this. Let's move forward in an appropriate manner. And let's give educators, which I think is what you want to do, the tools where they can be successful with their students. We're supposed to teach the combustion engine. Kids can decide on Chevy and Ford. Our role is the combustion engine.
Here. To that point.
Ms. Townsend.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure that it's understood that I'm happy to make an amendment to clear that up so that someone making a prayer isn't accused of trying to indoctrinate a child by praying. More than happy to move forward as this passes out of committee, if it passes, to polish it up. I'm happy to do that. But one thing I want to make sure I understand from what you just said, are you threatening to have a walkout if this bill passes?
Chairman Udall, Representative Townsend, no, I'm not. I didn't call the walkout last year. I showed up because my members told me to be down here. What I'm saying is timing is a lot. And people see this already as a retaliation bill. And until about 5 o'clock, I thought that was something that we could all manage together and be able to move forward with something. But there's a lot of activity right now about what's going on in West Virginia, the same state that inspired us last year, the same state that showed us that there was a different way of speaking to the legislature. It took a lot of time, a lot of energy. I would like to do it like this. I would like to have these conversations where we can craft good policy. But I apologize, it is not meant as a threat. It is just the context of the situation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Ms. Townsend.
to that point, thank you. I just want the record to show that this is not in retaliation to what happened last year. Those were words used by the Capital Times. I never said those words, and that's not part of what this is. The other bills that I proposed that aren't being heard were in response to what happened last year, to address the loophole that was used to allow to close the schools. So my word response was changed to retaliate, and that wasn't from me. So let the record show that. This is in response to the political activity going on in the schools that many parents have a big problem with. The children belong to the parents, and the parents need to be able to send their child to school knowing what the curriculum is and knowing we're staying on the curriculum, and that whether it's politics, religion, candidates, ideologies, whatever it is that belongs to that teacher, that they are not engaging in, as we saw in this description from Portland, Oregon, unethical behavior. It is going on. You may not have experienced it yourself. It is going on. I personally, with all three of my children, had to deal with scenarios that I took care of on my own. But this is in response to an issue, and I'm here proposing this on behalf of parents. I'm more than happy to polish it, but it is by no means to harm teachers or to do anything to punish them for any actions they may have taken. I came out when this first started last year, and I was very quick to go on Facebook Live and give my fake Nike story, if anybody saw that, in support of the teachers and in support of more funding for them. But I have a very real problem when things like socialism and other ideologies are impressed upon the children outside of the curriculum. That's my child, and I don't want my child coming out with a poster with a Marxist fist and a pencil on it, thinking that's great. I didn't authorize that, and many other parents didn't authorize that. And this bill is to address inappropriate, unethical behavior in the classroom, and that's it. It's not retaliation. So if there's any reaction, if you're on the news for a week, or if teachers walk out again, it will not be because of some imagined retaliation. This bill is what it is, and I hope it passes, but I just want everyone to be clear. I'm not punishing anyone, but I am speaking for parents and their priceless, precious children being able to go to school without worrying about that. Thank you.